Listen, by Mallory saying that, like I said, like Rasit, listen, people aren't listening. These couples do not listen, they do not talk, and they do not clock the red flags. She just told you, Rasit. She made fun of you in your face. She said, that's how they're treating you. You're like, oh, stop talking to my fiance. Stop talking to my fiance. She's like, bye. That's how her and Brady is treating you. You're not listening though, because you think you have pull. You think that you control something. You don't. What's up, guys? My name's Chantel, and welcome to my channel. Today I have a review for you guys, and we are going to be talking about 90 Day Fiancé Season 12, Episode 7, okay? Let's get right into it. So the episode starts off with Marissa and Edward, and they're in the kitchen, and they're actually preparing for Marissa's parents to come over. They're coming over for a visit to see Edward, to get to know him a little bit more, and just kind of like scope out the scene. Marissa, you know how she is. She's like, she likes to be in control, but like, you know, she really respects her parents, and she values their opinion a lot. So she's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how she is. She's hyper, she's nervous, and she's just kind of uptight. So she's doing a lot. And Edward's like, you know, it's no big deal, just relax, you know? Marissa's like, it is a big deal, like it's my parents. Like, have you heard of my parents? Edward says that he has met the parents before. Like, the parents did meet him while they were in Dominican Republic on vacation. So the parents have been around him in the DR as well as her kids. He says like they can make you feel like they're nothing, and it might be because they're rich and they have the status and they have the money, but he's confident and he's not worried about all that. While they're talking, the door knocks or the doorbell rings, and it's the parents. So Marissa's like, oh my gosh, okay, let's go, like come to the door and let's get them or whatever, right? So they open the door, they greet them. It's Marissa's mother and father. It looked like Edward was going in for the hug with the dad, but the dad was like, that was like a statue. He did not reach out for a hug. I can't even remember if he reached out to shake the man's hand, but he was just there like straight face like a statue, just staring Edward down. Anyways, they go in the kitchen to sit down to like talk. While they're sitting down, not even like 5 minutes into them like sitting down, they hear another knock on the door, and surprise, surprise, Marissa's aunt, uncle, cousin, and her boyfriend. So like a lot of people are here to see Edward. Everybody gets in. They Edward and the rest of the family, they greet the other set of family members that came in, and they get right into it, right? They're like, so Edward, like, you know, how's your family? Like, they're basically trying to get him, they're basically trying to get to know him better. Edward's like, you know, it's just like, it was just himself, his mom, and I think another sibling. I don't know how many siblings he has, but he has a sibling or siblings. So he's like, it was just us. And he said, you know, my father, I didn't really know his father. He said, my father, I didn't really know him. He wasn't really in the picture. They all agree that since Edward has his brothers, or yeah, I suppose he has more than one brother. Since Edward has his brothers, it was an easy transition for him to, like, you know, get with Marissa and merge with the boys or interact with the boys, because, you know, he knows how to interact with children or like siblings and be on that level. Marissa, you know, she goes ahead and she shares a cute experience that happened between Edward and the boys to kind of, you know, further solidify, like, you know, he is transitioning with the boys and they are getting along. After that, the mom, you know, she gets straight to it and she's like, you know, right now everything's good. Everything's, you know, honeymoon phase, like, you know, but she's like, you know, down the road and eventually things aren't going to be smooth sailing, you know, you guys are going to hit some bumps. The mom is basically like, you know, she's worried because she doesn't know Edward. She's like, you know, I'm fine with my daughter, but she's like, I don't know you. So she doesn't know how things are going to work out. So, you know, she's like, you know, time will tell, I guess. Marissa's mom, she's explaining at first that she wasn't on board with Marissa getting with Edward and them having like a serious relationship and like him coming to America. She's like, you know, it's a huge cultural difference, a big age gap, and then also how is Edward going to help support the family? Like, right, how's he going to make a living when he's down here? So she wasn't on board at first, but she's like, okay, I guess we'll see. Edward's trying to, like, you know, explain to her, like, you know, I could do this, I could do that. Like, I guess he's trying to be like, you know, I can hold my own. The mom's like, okay, like, talk is cheap, and, time will tell, basically. Like, you need to show us what you're made of. Edward's just sitting there like, he don't know what to say because the mom said, talk is cheap. She wants to see action. So that's something that's like some pressure for Edward. Now, after the mom's statement, everybody's kind of just like, damn, like, so Marissa, she tries to lighten up the mood. So she suggests that everybody go outside, like have some drinks and some fresh air and kind of like, just try and enjoy themselves. Marissa, Edward, her cousin, and her mom, and they're talking. The mom's basically like, you know what? America's a wonderful place. It's beautiful. And, she can see why people want to come to America because of, everything that America has to offer. And she's saying this like, she's speaking on people from other countries. That's how she said it. She was like, people from other countries want to come to America because it's, they want the American dream, basically. Edward's like, hold up now. He's like, true. He's like, okay, cool. I get you. But he's like, listen, I sacrificed my family, my friends, my home, and everything to be here in America. And he's like, he was fine in his country. Like, he's saying he's not one of those people to want to come over here and just get the green card. Because I do believe he mentioned to that before in the house about the green card. But he's like, that's not me. He's like, I love my country. I love where I'm from. I'm proud. And he was like, I was fine there. Like, I wasn't begging to come here. That's basically what he was saying. Mom, she goes in now and she's like, well, my daughter, like, she's bigging up her daughter. Obviously, it's her daughter. Like, she's smart. She's intelligent. She's beautiful. She's a wonderful person. Like, she's like, what do you see in my daughter? Like, what gravitated you towards her? He's like, I've been through a lot in my life and in relationships. And he's like, I want somebody who can show me respect and loyalty. And he's like, this is what Marissa has shown me. And this is how I knew that she was one for me and we were a match. They're just looking at him like, okay. Marissa, she doesn't like that answer, okay? She's pissed. Marissa wants to control everything. She wants to control his answer as well. She's like, I wish he would have led with something else. Like, that, I don't know, I guess more of her characteristics, like, her being genuine, her having a great heart, her being a great mother. Like, I believe, like, that's how she wanted him to lead, but he didn't. And she's pissed. She's mad. She's fuming. She is. So she didn't like that. And she is kind of like, ooh, feeling a type of way that her mom and cousin wouldn't like that answer as well. Mom is basically just like, listen, y'all are not on vacation anymore. This is real life. Like, Edward, you're here, you with the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to see how this goes. She's like, only time will tell. She's like, I'm praying that they can get through it. But if they don't, then it is what it is. Like, the mom don't care. The mom could care less, and she would rather her daughter not be with Edward. That's my opinion. That's the energy that she is giving off. So that's what I see, right? And the mom is right, because in the last episode, Marissa was pissed at this guy because he was on his phone and he wasn't helping out with the morning routine, like getting the kids ready and everything like that. And I'm like, it's his second day there, third day, I don't know. He doesn't know the damn routine, girl. Show him the routine. Tell him the routine. And I get it. Like, she wanted him to be present, but it's like, and I get it. Maybe he should, like, be asking, like, hey, do you need me to get this? Do you need me to get that? But you guys did everything. Like, bring him in. Let him know. Like, you have to show him the ropes. You can't just expect stuff. This is the problem. Like, he doesn't have children. He like, like, and you knew this, Marissa. Like, stop acting like, stop it. And then also, when they went into the car, this boy is in the front seat. Marissa's son. She didn't tell him to get out the front seat. She's like, oh, he likes to stay in the front seat and nobody can sit in the front seat. But okay. And even Edward had to ask, he's like, so when I start driving, like, who's going to be in the front seat? He's going to be in the front seat. Like, Marissa, stop trying to control Edward, an adult. Stop trying to oversee him and oversee your children. Because what the hell was he in the front seat for? Be like, no, get out. Like, again, you want him to know shit, but do you know shit? Like, get those kids under control. So I just said that to say, like, the mom is right. Like, you guys are having these issues. Marissa's having these control. Like, she wants to tell him this. She wants to tell him that. She wants to be like, oh, why do you have to be on the phone with your mom? Why does it have to be a video call all the time? The man just left his country. He left his people. Why do you care? Like, like she's doing too much. Like, she needs to go. That's what she needs to do. But I mean, this is what you wanted, Edward. So you're here now. This is what you're dealing with. And her ex-husband warned you about. Well, he warned you about the family, but yeah, because I don't think Marissa was doing any of that to the ex-husband. Absolutely not. She couldn't tell that man nothing. That's why she's over here doing all this BS to Edward. Anyways. Oh wow. Okay, so next up is Mido and Debbie, and their scene opens up with Mido. He is on the side of the road. He's on his phone because he has to try and call a Uber or whatever to take him back home. We all seen last episode was crazy. Mido was just disrespectful, out of order, just rude as hell. Debbie kicked him out the car, which is why he's on the side of the road now. And she said, listen, you're going back to Egypt. Get your ticket and get the hell out of my car. And Mido was calling her all types of be this, be that. Just calling her outside her name. And I'm like, wow. He yelled at the friend. His chest was high with the friend. Did you see how he went to her and he was pointing at her, talking about, oh, you don't understand? Listen to me. Debbie is a mature woman. She's an older woman. I know Debbie's not like that. And her friends, I'm glad the friend stuck up to him. She's like, who are you talking to? She called him mother effer. She was like, you don't talk to people. You don't talk to women like this. Da, 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 da. So, she stood up for Debbie and herself. But the way that Mido went forward to her with his finger like that in her face, and he chest was high and he came forward. Listen, I'm telling you right now, me and my friends, Mido would have been dropped. Bye-bye. Good night. Yeah. Mido would have been handled. Like, handled. For real. I'm not playing because I don't know who he thinks he is. Like, he was out of order and out of line. That whole thing just got under my skin and pissed me off. I was like, oh, when he jumped up like that, I was like, oh, Mido would have really got jumped by me and my friends. Like, he would have got laid out. He would have. Big time. Big time. Absolutely. Because I don't know who he thought he was bucking at and yelling at like it's Egypt. It's not Egypt. Anyways, that whole scene pissed me off. So anyways, he was out there waiting for an Uber to take him back because Debbie drove off on him. Mido's telling the producers that he didn't do nothing wrong. He doesn't know why Debbie's upset. Acting like he doesn't know that he was calling her all types of B. He was being rude. You weren't being interactive with the friends. You were just giving them the cold shoulder for no reason with these weird mood swings. So he's sitting up there lying per usual with his lying forked tongue. Okay, that's what he was doing. Debbie's friends are upset. They're in shock. They're in disbelief. They're like, what the hell did we just witness? Because they're like, if he's as bold enough to be yelling at her and talking to her like that in front of us and in public, then they're like, wow, like what's going on behind closed doors? Friends just really feel bad for Debbie, and they don't know what the future holds for her and Mido, but they're like, it's not looking good. Like, based on what we've seen today, we don't even know if there's going to be a future. That's what they're saying. Producers asking Mido, hey, so what's the plan on the side of the road, right? He's like, what's the plan? What's going on? Mido's like, oh, the plan is to go back home to Egypt. You should have been back there. He's always pulling this go back to Egypt card, but all now I haven't seen him go back to Egypt. Oh, if this was in Egypt and she threw the phone in my face, I would leave. So leave. Stop acting like, leave. Like, we're tired of hearing you say you would have left. Leave, go, bye. They're back at Debbie's house, or they show Debbie back at home, and she's explaining to the producers, like, I guess they were kind of having a bad day, or she was having a bad day, and then she had like a little meltdown or whatever. And instead of Mido being her partner and just trying to console her and make her feel better, like, things like that, and try to figure out like what was going on, instead he like lashed out on her and was yelling at her and like acting crazy like he always does. basically dismissive towards her feelings and how she was feeling, and that made her feel really bad. Also, she doesn't like that he's always threatening to go home. Again, like a lot of these times, this is what people say when they're like, oh, listen to the red flags, right? That's a red flag. The man's been telling you what he's on. He's threatening you with going home, which means he really doesn't want to be there. He wants to go home, or he wants to be in Hollywood. He doesn't want to be around you. He does not. He been telling you. Okay, fine. Mido's trying to say, oh, well, he comes in, right? Because he comes in and he goes upstairs to his part or whatever. And he's telling the producer that Debbie, she took it too far with questioning his virginity. Because Debbie was like, oh, you can have compassion for that. Be in Egypt, but not for me or whatever. Or you can screw the girl in Egypt, but you can't have compassion for me. So he didn't like that she questioned that. And I guess how she was talking to him and her getting loud and stuff like that. And he was like, he was looking for flights at the time, and he couldn't find any flights. And as soon as he finds a flight or a flight ticket, he's going to be on his way back to Egypt. Okay, you've been saying that. Go home. Go. Debbie's saying that she's not putting up with Mido calling her the B word and also yelling at her. That's what she says. The next morning, and Debbie's in the kitchen, and Mido's somewhere, he's upstairs or something like that. And Debbie was just explaining how, like, Mido being in a mood and, like, how things just went left. And she's like, when that happened, that reminded her, like, it took her back. It took her back when she was married before and how she was being treated back then. And it reminded her of that. And she didn't like that feeling. It was like feeling alone. And that's how she feels with Mido. So Debbie, she's going to go head out and meet up her friend from the night before. She says that she doesn't want to talk to Mido. She's not ready. She's not up for it. So she meets up with a friend at like a cafe or bar or something like that. They're on the patio. And they are discussing the events that happened the night before. Debbie's friend Aisha is saying, like, it broke her heart to see how Mido was treating her and how he was yelling at her and he wasn't interacting with her. She was like, what is going on? Like, she was expecting to see some love in the air, but she didn't see any of that, right? She was like, Mido was acting like he was auditioning for a role at the damn haunted hell. He was acting so stupid. He's like, I know I'm not going to be scared. There's actors and they're acting, but that's not the point. We know that they're acting. It's for you to go in there and enjoy it. It's a first time experience. And he was in there just, anyways. I'm not saying they need to be in there holding hands and on each other, but it's true. Like when you're walking through a haunted house, it's your first time, you're with your partner. It's like you're going to be close to them. You're going to be like, I don't know, laughing, giggling, screaming beside each other. And he was off doing his own thing. So yeah, that's weird. Astra, Debbie's friend, she's telling Debbie, listen, don't turn a blind eye to his attitude and how he was acting, because red flag. Astra was saying, like, doesn't matter what culture you're from, like nobody should be speaking to anybody like that. Debbie's feeling some type of way about her friend expressing her truth and her opinion about her whack little boy that she brought down here. She's like, calm down. So she's feeling some type of way that her friend is speaking on Mido. But whatever she's saying about Mido is true. But Debbie doesn't want to hear it. This is why I'm saying, like, Debbie, you want to get treated like this then. What does she need to calm down for? She wasn't irate. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't cursing him. She's telling you the facts, and you're talking about calm down. I've been hearing that Debbie's been sticking up for him anyways. Sorry. I know it has nothing to do with that, but I've heard that in the internet streets of 90 Day Fiancé that Debbie is sticking up for this man. Because people was dragging him online, apparently. And she wants to stick up for him. She came out and was like, nah. So, girl, bye. That's all I'm going to say. Bye. You're condoning the BS. Debbie is trying to convince her friend. She's like, we've had wonderful days, we have great days, but then some days, are bad and like they're not perfect. And she's like, not every day is going to be really good or perfect or whatever. The friend's like, yeah, I get that. However, listen up. Like, however, just because somebody's having a bad day or whatever does not mean that it needs to result in the way that it ended, like how Mido was acting. Just because you're having a bad day, your day's not the best, right? You might be a little irritated. Doesn't mean it needs to go that far. What Mido did was disrespectful, bad day or not. What kind of foolishness are you on? Again, that's Debbie trying to stick up for him. Desperate Debbie. That's what I'm going to call you, Desperate Debbie, because that's what you exude. Desperado. You're desperado. Like, come on. Like, enough. Asher is asking Debbie if she thinks that Mido actually loves her. Asher's like, he just doesn't seem genuine. Everybody feels like he's not being genuine. It's just not Asher. Everybody can book that this man is not being genuine. Debbie's sitting there lying out the side of her damn neck, talking about, listen, she's a liar. She's sticking up for him. She's trying to save face because her friend's clocking every damn thing. And yes, it's embarrassing because as soon as the man comes over, this is how he's acting. And you knew already in your heart of hearts it wasn't going to work from before, from the other times you've been voicing your concerns. Now your friend's saying something, you have a problem. She's like, well, Mido told me that he came here for me. Actions speak louder than words. Your mom didn't tell you that before? None of your parents told you that before? You never heard that saying? Actions speak louder than words. Of course he said he came there for you. But his actions are showing that he came here for Hollywood. Are you dumb? No, you're desperate. That's her answer to her friend. Her friend's like, girl, bye. Her friend's like, this man does not seem genuine. He doesn't even seem into her. I said that already before in my previous review. Mido's not feeling Debbie. He's not attracted to her. You can see that. She knows it, but for whatever reason, she's forcing her, or she thinks that it can happen. Not going to happen. You're not his type. And I'm not trying to be mean. You're not his type. So, yeah, that's... I don't know who Debbie's trying to fool. Her friend thinks that she should not marry him. She doesn't see it turning out good. She's like, there's no point in marrying him. And, she hopes that Debbie comes to her senses and she doesn't go through with it, basically. Because she's like, she does not see any good coming out of these two getting married. And I agree with her. Friends like, get him out of here quick, get him out of here fast, and she shouldn't give him another chance. Debbie's saying, oh, the only way that Mido could come back from this is if he apologizes. Girl, bye. He's going to apologize and do the same thing. Okay? And he's just pissed that you're not in Hollywood. He's pissed you're not in Hollywood, and that's where he wants to go, and you're not taking him there. Debbie's basically saying, she's just angry and frustrated and upset with Mido because he's not showing that he loves or cares about her. Exactly. That's what I said. Didn't I just say that? Rewind. I just said that. I said actions speak louder than words. And Mido's actions is showing Debbie that he does not want her or like her. But she's turning a blind eye because she's desperado. That's it. So it's Annabelle and Shea. And Annabelle, she gets back from the spa with Angie and Shea's daughter, Allison. Well, Angie was with them at the spa, but Allison dropped Annabelle home. So Annabelle, she goes inside, she sees Shea, and Shea's like, hey babe, how are you? Did you have a good time? Like, did everything go well? And Annabelle's like, yeah, everything went well, everything's good. And like, she had a talk with Angie, and Angie had told her some things. Angie confirmed, she's like, absolutely not. I am not doing anything with Shea. We are strictly friends. And Angie, she was actually feeling bad for Annabelle because she's like, me and Shea are friends. We never did anything. And she's kind of putting herself in Annabelle's shoes. She's like, I would feel bad too. Like, she came all the way from the Philippines. She's supposed to be happy and excited to get married, but instead she's met with all these rumors and crazy stuff that she's being told, right, about her soon-to-be fiance. So Angie did feel for her, but Angie cleared the air with her, and Annabelle's happy about that. But she's like, listen, we cleared the air. I had fun. We were good, whatever. But she's like, apparently there's still some problems with Nicole. What's going on with Nicole? Shea's like, man, listen, Shea doesn't want to deal with that because he already knows he done messed up. He knows Nicole's going to be a problem. She's going to spill all the beans, the real beans, okay? Because Shea only spilled 10% of the beans. And who knows if those beans were real, okay? So he knows Nicole's going to spill everything. So he tells Annabelle, he's like, you know what? I don't want to talk about that. Let's not talk about that. He's like, we will deal with her and deal with that situation when she pops up. Annabelle says that she forgives him for now. She's like, she forgives him for now and everything. But she's like, he effed up. She's like, he effed up, and I'm going to keep an eye on him, and we're going to see how it goes from here. And Annabelle's like, he needs to work on his damn behavior and how he carries himself. Annabelle was telling Shea that Allison and Andrew were saying that Shea is a good guy, to try and make Annabelle feel better and try and work things out. Is he a good guy though? Because he's been lying this whole time. And even the daughter, Allison's like, oh, well, my dad's not. He barely told her anything. The daughter's like, he didn't spill all the beans. He spilled 10% of the beans. Daughter's going to have to spill the 90%. Or Nicole's going to spill the rest of the beans. She's going to give the real beans. She's going to spill the real beans. That's what's going to happen. So he's still lying. I don't know why they're saying he's a good guy. I guess they're just trying to make Annabelle feel better. But no, he's not. That's not what he's showing. So, yeah. Shea now, he wants to go out. He's like, I want to go out with the guys and stuff. I want to have some beers, drink, watch the game, and hang out. Boy, sit your ass down. You just got Annabelle back. She just forgave you. She just met your people even though she didn't want to. Now you want to go out and drink and act a fool because you know that you be drinking and blacking out and don't know what the hell happens. Even Annabelle knows. Annabelle's like, nope, you're not going nowhere. She's like, no, sit down. Sit down and drink some herbal tea, okay? Clear all of this out. Clear all that beer and partying and bad food and all the bad stuff. Let's drink some herbal tea to get a little cleared out, okay? And help you out with your gut and stuff like that. And we're going to do some yoga because your big ass needs to stretch and get on a healthier path and stop partying with these young people and drinking. That's what Annabelle said. She didn't actually say that, but her suggesting that he drinks the herbal tea and stay his ass inside the house and do some yoga is basically what she said. She said, sit down. And I love that. Sit down. You're not going out to drink and act a fool to embarrass yourself and me more. Listen, Annabelle has a plan. Annabelle said, listen, you went and gained a lot of weight ever since you've been in the Philippines. So that means in the Philippines, he was doing a lot more walking. He was a lot more active. Yeah, because usually when you go home, like these, Philippines, Jamaica, India, like any of those places, when you go back, you're walking, you're doing a lot of stuff. The food is better. It's real. You're losing weight. So she's like, Shea, you gained a lot of weight since, you left the Philippines. She's like, I need you to lose weight. Like, you need to get healthy for your health and also to perform better in bed. So, Shea, you can't perform good in bed, but you're out here cheating and doing all types of foolishness. Why aren't you working on your bed game? Why aren't you working on your bedroom game and how to please your woman? Annabelle went and spilled Annabelle is not playing. She's blunt already, like she's direct already, but she's like, listen, I don't care because you done embarrassed me. So I'm going to embarrass you and let everybody know that you're out here cheating, doing all this nonsense, and you can't even throw down in bed. You can't even perform. She's like, listen, lose that weight so you can perform in bed and so you can please me in bed. She's like, I'm always on the top. Oh my gosh, Annabelle. Annabelle said, I'm always on the top. You're on the bottom. She's like, get your cardio up. Get your stamina up. She's like, I don't always want to be on the top. Like, put some work in. If you're not putting work in, Shea, you don't deserve no coochie. The hell? Absolutely not. And she's cleaning you? Boy. Anyways, so she's like, yeah, that needs to stop. Shea's like, that's the way I like it. You're like, he's like, I love when you're on top. Okay, yeah, of course, because you don't have to work. You're not doing nothing. You're just laying there like a freaking bag of potatoes and letting Annabelle ride a dead bag of potatoes. No. Get up. Get up. Literally, get up. So they go on the floor and Annabelle's doing some stretches. She's like, do this, do that. Very light, because, he's a beginner. She's not going to bust out any big yoga moves. But she's doing, like, do this, do that, like simple stretches or whatever, whatnot. And he's saying, like, he's struggling, obviously. I don't expect him to be, like, flexible. But he's struggling. And she's like, oh. Because he's like, this is hard, like, and she's like, oh, you think this is hard? She's like, wait until I get you in Zumba. My girl said, this is not yoga and stretching. She said, you will be doing cardio. She said, you will be doing cardio to get this weight off so you can perform in bed. Okay? I cannot. So that was so funny. Anyways, Annabelle, she gets up, she leaves, she goes to the room. She leaves Shea there struggling on the floor to get up. And he's like, babe, like, can you help me? Listen, when I said Annabelle paid him no mind and just strutted along into the bed, into the bedroom, I said, yes, Annabelle, pay him no mind. Leave him right there. He needs to learn to get up by himself. Okay? That's it. Now we have Paula and Thomas. They are going on a hike, or they're, I guess, going to drive to the park so they could go on a hike. Paula, she's in the car with him and they're talking. She's like, what did she say? She wishes that Thomas would be a gentleman more often and open the door for her or whatever. Because I guess, like, he didn't open her door. Okay, fine. She is still upset about Thomas gluing her perfume bottle shut. We seen that last episode. He glued it shut because he was having an allergic reaction. He says that Paula knows about this allergic reaction he has to perfumes, so he doesn't know why she's doing all of this and acting like she doesn't know. I don't think he should have super glued her stuff together. Like, he shouldn't have super glued it. But I mean, if you know that the man has allergies towards like perfumes, then why are you doing that? And she's like, well, when we're around other people that have perfume on and he doesn't get that reaction. But I'm like, okay, well, you were inside his house though. You guys are in a small space and you just put it on. So maybe that's why. Anyways, child, she's still mad about him gluing up the perfume bottle. I'm not saying it's right, but she's still mad. I'm not saying that's right that Thomas did that, but she's still mad, okay? And I'm not saying she's wrong for being mad. Paula thinks that's controlling of him to be like, don't do this, don't do that, and like actually super gluing the perfume shut. Thomas is like, hey, whoa, like, I'm allergic and like, my eyes were itching, my nose was running. He's like, I wasn't feeling good. Like, it had me messed up. Like, that's what allergies do. And Paula's like, man, you have this double personality and all of a sudden, it's bothering you now. It was never bothering you before. Yo, Paula has no chill, okay? Listen, Thomas is not trying to hear. He's like, listen, girl, I just want to have a good day. So let's just get through the day so we can like, move past this and enjoy ourselves. They get to the park and they're taking their little walk. Thomas apologizes to her and like, he says he feels bad for gluing up her perfume bottle. And like, he didn't mean to do that. Like he was just, it was in the moment and he feels really bad that he actually did it. He's just explaining, listen, these are my allergic reactions. And it's hard for him to deal with it because like, I have allergies, okay? I have allergies to environmental, like, I take allergy pills. Listen, some of my videos you can hear, like when I go to take a breath, it sounds like I'm wheezing. It's like it sounds like a deep sigh. And that's because it's the allergies that's just in the throat and in the sinuses, like it's blocking. So that's the type of allergies I have. So I know the feeling. It's like, it's not fun. So if he's allergic to, lots of people have, what is it, like fragrance sensitivities. Lots of people, like in workplaces, I've worked at places where they're like, listen, no perfume. You can't have it on because it really affects people. So I get where Thomas is coming from. Paula's like, listen, you're always fighting with me, like, and I would just like for you to stop, like, always coming at me and fighting with me and always having something to say, like it's a battle. He's like, man, like, we're so different and, like, all these differences that we're having, like, it's kind of, like, causing conflicts. And Paula, she's like, yeah, we are different, we're very different. But she's like, as long as we can find a middle ground, then we'll be fine. She's like, just work with me, find a middle ground, and we'll be fine, and we can work through this. And, like, live our happy, lovely lives together like we planned. Man, Thomas, he starts to cry. He starts to cry because he did feel bad. And I guess, like, he loves her and stuff like that. I felt bad for him. Like, he started to cry. And Paul was like, he's sensitive and stuff like that. So they hug it out. And they say, like, they really want it to work out and they want to work on things. And they're going to try to really find a middle ground that works for both of them. Thomas and Paula, they're back at the apartment. And Thomas, he's doing some stretching on the wall. And here comes Paula. You know how Paula is. She's coming in. She's complaining. She's saying this. She's saying that. Oh, this is not like that. And why do you have this like this? And why are you doing that? And why are you doing this? That's how she came in when the man was trying to stretch, okay? I was like, listen, we need to go to the store. We need to buy some drawers because I need more space. She's like, this is not... She needs more space. And, the space that he provided for her is just not enough for all the stuff that she has. She literally brought what she could of her life from Brazil. So I definitely get that. She's like, listen, I left Brazil. I left my home. to come be with you and come stay with you and start this life. She's like, I need to be as comfortable as I was at home. Like, I need my accommodations met. Like, if I had this stuff at home, I should have it here, and that's what I want. She got a point. I believe Thomas gives her like a bin for her undergarments, and he's like, listen, when that bin gets full, or if it gets full, that's when we will buy a dresser. Okay. Paula, she pulls out some crystal, right? I guess she's into the manifestation. She did say that manifestations and all that stuff, so she has a crystal, and it was worth 250. And Thomas is like, girl, bye. Thomas does not believe in any of that stuff. He's like, he thinks she's wasting money. It's unnecessary. He's like, listen, please leave me alone. Get that out of my face. Paula's saying, listen, Thomas, you have bad energy. Girl, she's like, you have bad energy and bad energy all around this apartment. So this is why we need the crystals, and this is why I have it here to, like, bring in better energy and things like that. How are you going to tell the man that his energy is bad in his apartment? His apartment doesn't look like there's bad energy. It's just a minimalist apartment with not a lot of furniture, but it's clean, it's organized. What is bad energy about it? Did you bring your bad energy to his apartment? Is that what you mean? Oh, okay. I don't know. Asking for a friend. Thomas is saying, listen, there's no need for these rocks. There's rocks everywhere. He doesn't understand why she needs to spend money on it. It's a waste of money, blah, 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 blah. That's basically it. He doesn't get it. He's not into the whole manifestation universe type of thing. Paula is heavily into it, so they're butting heads on that. Again, it's like, do you guys talk? Like, you knew that, right? Did you know she was going to be spending money on that? Like, did you know? Like, I don't know what these people are doing. I really don't know what they're doing, but that's what's going on. Paula says, listen, she said, don't disrespect my rock. She said, put some respect on my crystals, okay? Put some respect on my crystals. She's like, listen, because you remember when we met, she was like, you were sucked in, you was dry, you was sucked out and malnourished and looking crazy, my friend. She said you was only eating rice, beans, and bananas. She said, when I came through with my crystals and my energy and my manifestations, okay, and my universal pull, she said, when I came with that, she said, you leveled up. She said, now you're eating meats and all this stuff. That's what she said. She's like, my crystals hydrated you, put some weight on you, and got you together. Don't disrespect my crystals. That's what she said to him. I couldn't believe she said that. This girl said you were sucked in, dry, like a prune. Paula has no manners, okay? Paula has no manners, okay? Brazilian to the core. She's not playing with Thomas. Thomas is like, he sponsored Paula, for Paula to come over here and so they can start life. He's like, I did not sponsor her hobbies and all her rocks and her crystals and her tiny stuff. He's like, that's not what I'm here for. He's like, I'm here for us, not for all the extra stuff. Thomas, he says that he has a credit card for her so she can, like, live life and kind of roam, be free, like kind of have some independence basically while she's in America. He's like, she needs to have some independence when she's in America now in her new country, and she's not going to be able to move freely and move how you're supposed to move and get around if she doesn't have any credit, and she needs a credit card. This man gave her a credit card with a limit of $25,000. Why? I do not know why. He said somehow he couldn't get it lowered. Are you okay? You're telling me that you can't get the credit card limit lowered. That's weird. I don't know if I've heard of that. I know that you can't just increase it unless you have actual good credit, and they will review and they'll be like, okay, we'll give you an extra 10 grand, 5 grand. I don't know why. Anyways, so he's saying he needs to put a limit on there or something. Like if she spends 5 grand or something like that in like 2 days or whatever, like, he needs to put a limit, but he says it's $25,000. I'm like, boy, good luck. He says that he hopes that Paula is like intentional with her purchases and she does not spend. Listen, Paula in her confessional, she's like, listen. She's like, even if I have $1 billion, she's like, if I die, the money's not coming with me. So what do I look like saving money around here? Because when I die, it's not coming with me. This girl gonna spend all that money. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. You know what? I don't want to put that on her. But what her saying that comment makes me believe, like, listen, she has no budget, no limits, and she's gonna buy down. She's just gonna swipe, 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 swipe. She was very happy to receive that card. So, Thomas, you better keep an eye on that. Mallorie and Rasit, okay? So this is the day after the party that her friends and everybody held for Rasit, like his welcoming to America party. They wake up in the bed, and they're there, and all 4 dogs are in the bed. Rasit swore that the dogs wouldn't be sleeping with them in the bed, but Rasit's like, hey, the dogs are in the bed. He's like, hey, the only reason why they were in the bed is because he was hungover and drunk. They were doing too much drinking, so that's why they're in the bed. Mallory's like, no, that's not true. She's like, you were cuddling them. You were cuddling. You liked it. Rasit's like, nah, no, 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 no. I'm like, boy, you're not going to get those dogs out of bed. Those dogs been there before you. Those dogs going to be there after you. Just like Brady. Okay? You're not getting rid of those dogs. Not getting rid of those dogs, okay? She got you sleeping in there with them. Rasit, he has a hangover. He drank a lot. You know, he had a good time. So he's going to make a Turkish breakfast. They had a good time. They're talking about it. And Rasit's like, yeah, we had a good time. But Brady was there. And I took it upon myself to tell Brady to stop talking to you and not be your friend anymore. Rasit starts to explain like what basically happened. He's like mocking Brady, like the way he talks. Because Brady has like a very gruff, rough voice. It's very like, man, get off my tailgate, man. What you say? Like it's very like that. I can't even do it. My voice doesn't go that deep. Brady is a tall, over 6-something big guy, big and tall, from the South, rugged. So he has that voice. You know, it's very deep and growly, right? So Rasit's saying that he sounds like a caveman, so he's mocking him, whatever, right? And he was saying like, you know, he was Brady was angry and like, you know, whatever to Rasit. So Mallory's like, well, if somebody came up to me and they're like, stop talking to my fiance, I don't want you to contact my fiance. She's like, I tell him to F off too and get the hell out of my face. Like, bye. So Rasit, did you hear that? She said, shut up and get out their face because they're going to be friends. So that's what she said to Rasit. It's like, yeah, like nobody's listening to that. Listen, by Mallory saying that, like I said, like Rasit, listen, people aren't listening. These couples do not listen. They do not talk, and they do not clock the red flags. She just told you, Rasit. She made fun of you in your face. She said, that's how they're treating you. You're like, oh, stop talking to my fiance. Stop talking to my fiance. She's like, bye. That's how her and Brady is treating you. You're not listening though, because you think you have pull. You think that you control something. You don't. Mallory's telling Rasit that, like, she's like, listen, I cannot cut Brady out of my life, and I will not. He is one of her closest friends. He's going to be in their life, and he just needs to get over it. Side note, I just want to know. So, Mallory and Brady, they used to date or whatever, right? And now they're very, very close friends. Okay, you're very, very close friends. Okay, great. What happened when you guys were dating for you that caused you guys to break up? And why can't you guys, like, if you guys are such good friends and he was there for you and you guys are there for each other and you love, like, you know, you guys love each other as friends and, you know, he was watching the dog, like all that stuff. He's always coming over and everybody. Why didn't you guys work out? Why aren't you guys together? That's what I want to know. Why aren't you guys together? Mallory's like, listen, he's my friend. We're friends. We're besties. He's not going anywhere, right? She's like, listen, because of the way that the friendship group is set up, like, if she does not, like, if she cuts Brady out of her life, then she won't have access to her best friend. Like, she's basically cutting access off to her best friend. She's like, and I am not cutting off access to my best friend for nobody. So she's like, you need to get over it. You need to accept it. Leave me alone. Me and Brady are staying friends, and I'm going to keep my best friend. Ross is like, well, if you love me, you will listen to me. That's not how that works. Can't stand this listening thing. Listen to you for what? That's what I want to know. Why? Oh, you don't. Men have this thing with, oh, you're not listening. Listen to you for what? Listen to you for what? Just to listen? Just for you to talk and for me to listen, you want to feel important? Why am I listening to you? Why? God gave me ears. God gave me a brain. God gave me discernment. God gave me intuition. God gave me all those things, right? But I'm supposed to listen to you. If I wasn't supposed to listen to myself, I wouldn't have all those tools. God wouldn't have blessed me with all these, right? I wouldn't be able to walk, talk, see, do all this stuff by myself. I wouldn't be able to like make decisions. I would be a vegetable. That's how God would make women, vegetables. Why do you need people to listen to you? Why? People aren't just going to listen just to listen. There needs to be a reason. We're not just listening. There needs to be a reason. Oh, stop talking to that person. Why? Oh, it makes, like, you already knew though, Rasit. This is why I don't feel away. You knew that they still had a friendship, a very close friendship, before you brought your ass over here from Turkey. Why didn't you stay in Turkey? That's what I want to know. Somebody answer me that right now. Why didn't he stay in Turkey? Because you're pissing me off. Stay in Turkey. Even Mallory says it. She's like, if he wants a woman and he wants a woman to listen and do things his way, she's like, well, you should have married a woman in Turkey. Why are you over here? Because she's like, you're not respecting my culture. We have two different cultures. You want me to respect yours, you respect mine. You don't want to? Go to Turkey, find a wife. She'll listen to you if that's what you want. This listening BS is getting on my nerves. Listen for what? So if you tell me to go jump off a bridge, I'm supposed to listen. Just jump off the bridge. Because I'm just supposed to listen to you. Man, go to hell. Yeah, go to hell because you're pissing me off. Nobody's lit. Anyways, as you can see, Mallory's not listening because she don't give two F's. She's like, Mallory says all that, right? And Rasit, he's like, oh, you're pissing me off because I guess she's not listening. And she keeps defending her relationship with Brady and saying, listen, I'm still going to be friends with him. So he's like, oh, you're pissing me off. She's like, okay, good. I don't care. Like, good. Man, that pissed him off even more. Why did the man bang the damn cutting board with the knife? Like, he had the knife because he was cutting tomatoes and he banged it. What are with these men from these countries knowing the they know the American culture to some extent, right? They know that American women are liberated, they're free, they have free will, they can do what they want. So why are you coming over here? That's what I want to know. So you want to come over here for a better life, to be free and liberated and do all what you want to do and do what yada yada yada. But the woman that's born in America, who's born with all that stuff, you want to take that away from her. You're leaving your country, your culture, but you're coming to America, okay? To the American woman that has all that, the free this, the liberty. She could have the freedom to do this, speak, talk, have a job, drive, do all that stuff. You want to come over, you want to leave your country, go over to America and take that away from the woman. But you want that. You want what she was born with in America. Are you dumb? Listen, get out of my face right now. I'm heated. Get out of my, did you hear what I said? Do you see what these men are doing? They're coming from their country and they're trying to implement their ways on the American woman. Mallory's like, good, go, stay mad. He's like, oh, I don't even want to look at your face. Do not look at me. Mallory said, turn around. Don't look at me. Turn around. Straight up. I like how Mallory dealt with him. I really do. I really do. Turn around. You don't want to look at me in my house? Yo, turn around, go look at the wall. Who you talking to? Man, anyways, that was the end of that. Aisha and Maxwell. Aisha, she's in Nigeria. They're in the taxi with Maxwell and her mom, or in a car, whatever, and they are headed to Maxwell's parents' house, right? Maxwell saying how she's looking beautiful and he's so happy that she's here. And, he is giving Aisha and the mom like a little car tour, kind of like what Shea was doing to Annabelle. He's like, so those are the working men over here, and that's that over there, and that's that over there. Like, and the mom, she's just sitting there all like, I don't even remember the mom said. She made a comment or something. The mom just seems like she ain't interested in a damn thing. That's what the mom's just there. You know those older people that just don't give a hell? That's what her mom's giving, okay? So Maxwell's saying, you know, it's been so long. It's been 8 months since he's seen her and she's looking so beautiful, right? And he can't wait to take her out and spoil her, okay? Aisha's saying that they were supposed to be seeing each other every 6 months, but I guess because of the issues that happened with the case, it sped everything up. So she's in Nigeria now to try and get things solved. Saying that she can't wait to meet Maxwell's parents because I guess they know of each other and stuff like that. They probably talk on the phone, whatever. And I think she may have met him, yeah, because she's been to Nigeria before. Anyways, she can't wait to see them again. She's excited. Maxwell's like, oh, well, you need to put on a sweater before you come and go to see my parents. Aisha has on like a spaghetti string tank top and some jeans. Like, she's not even showing a lot. It's really just her arms. She's like, I already knew that irritated her. That irritated her. She's like, I'll put it on when I get out the car. Because, yeah, why am I putting that on in the car? Aisha's saying that Maxwell confuses her because he's like, he always wants her to be sexy, sexy, sexy all the time. Sexy this, sexy that, dress sexy, be sexy. But then she's like, but then he pulls something like this, right? Saying like, hey, put the sweater on, cover up for my family, cover up for whatever. So she's like, I'm confused. I don't know, like, what do you want me to be? Choose one. Maxwell's like, be sexy for me and, like, you know, be reserved for the family. Like, be sexy for me, not for his family. Okay, got it. Reach to the parents' house now and they're getting out the taxi. And immediately Maxwell's like, oh, put on your sweater. You're doing too much. First of all, I know Nigeria's hot as hell. Stop playing. Nigeria's hot as hell. Okay? You want her to put on a sweater. Like, anyways, so she puts on the sweater. She doesn't put up a fight. She puts on the sweater. Fine, cool. They get inside the house, and immediately Aisha's calling out for her mom and dad, which is Maxwell's parents. She's like, hey, mommy. Hi, daddy. Where are you guys? Hey. They get into the kitchen, and everybody greets each other, and they're happy to see each other. They go into the living room, and they prepare and give Aisha and her mom a cola nut, and it's medicinal, and it's supposed to be like, you know, bring blessings and prosperity and stuff like that upon your life, and it's good for your health, whatever. So they give them that as a gesture, like a welcome gesture, and they have to chew on it and stuff like that and eat it. Aisha, she does not like it. Aisha and the mom do not like it. They just don't like it, and so Aisha's like, do you guys eat this for flavor or for for something else? And they're like, no, it's for medicinal. Like, they already said that. They said it's for medicinal use. Maxwell's mom speaking to the producer, and she's like, you know, Maxwell, he's the most important person in the family, I guess the oldest son, and it's very important for him to attract a proper and very good wife that can, you know, live up to all the things that their family wants her to. Maxwell is showing Aisha her room now, and the room is beautiful. The room is beautiful. The parents have a beautiful home. The room is beautiful. Maxwell does not come from nothing, okay? The family's good. Maxwell is showing her the room. Aisha loves it. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, I need a room like this or whatever, whatnot. And so, yeah, Maxwell will not be staying in the room with Aisha because they are not married. And Maxwell's like, oh, you know, I was joking with my parents and saying that, like, I was going to stay in the room with you. And they made a big fuss about it. And Aisha's like, well, I agree. Like, we're not married, so we don't need to be in the same room. Maxwell's like, oh, so you don't need to be in my room and I don't need to be in your room. Aisha's like, yeah. She's not falling for it. Like, you know, she's sticking to those Christian values. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm fine with being in this room by myself without you. She wants to know if everything went well with the parents. And Maxwell's like, yeah, everything went good. Now it's time for them to go downstairs and have dinner with the Maxwell's siblings, like his sisters and everything. Aisha, she feels away and is a little nervous and kind of like, oh, she doesn't want to see his sister Blaze because she says that Blaze is too nosy. Blaze is always in the business. She's very just like, you know, she's just very she's just always in the business, always asking questions. And she's like, man, I'm not here for that. Like, she doesn't have the time. She doesn't have the energy. Okay. They're in the kitchen. They get downstairs for dinner. Blaze runs up to Aisha. She gives her a big hug. She's happy. She's excited to see her, or she's acting that way. But that's how it looked on TV, right? That she was happy to see her. They get us sitting down to eat dinner. They are teaching. Maxwell gives Aisha's mom like a little lesson on how to eat fufu. He's telling her that you roll it up and you swallow it. And she's like, I can't chew it. He's like, no, like, I guess you can, but he's like, you're supposed to swallow it. They don't like that. They can't swallow it. So it's kind of different for them. They're asking like producers, like, how do you like Nigerian food? And the mom doesn't really like it. She's like, I don't like it. She's like, the meat needs to be more tender and maybe it'll be better. They're at the table and Maxwell's dad's like, oh, I'm going to teach you, or I guess the wife will teach you how to cook this meal, right? And she's like, oh, so you're going to teach us, me and Maxwell, how to make it? And he's like, the dad's like, no, only the woman stays in the kitchen. Or is it only in the kitchen? Aisha's like, what? She's like, what do you say? He's like, only the kitchen's only for the woman. Like, the woman does all the cooking, cleaning, all that type of stuff, right? Dad's like, Maxwell will not be in the house, in the kitchen with you. Well, I mean, that's not up to you, because if Maxwell gets to America, he will be. Because Aisha not doing all that. So just take care of your own household, and your son's grown, and when he goes to America, if he gets to America, he will be helping. Here comes Blaze. Again, I don't like when the families, they do this stuff like it's her first night. Oh, we're going to teach her how to cook this meal. Oh, only the wives stay in the kitchen. The husbands aren't in the kitchen. Oh, how many kids? Like, leave people alone. It's her first night there. Just let her enjoy the meal. You guys can talk about just casual, surface level things, and you guys can talk about stuff later. Like, the girl is tired. Here comes the sister. Oh, how many kids do you plan on having for my brother if you get married? I do not like when siblings are so in other siblings' business. Like when they're just so involved. And I am just like, is that your brother or your husband? Like, stop. Aisha says 2. Now, Blaze, the mom, the dad, Maxwell, they're all sitting there looking like, what? Like 2's not enough. Blaze comes talking about, oh, what is the reason why you only want 2 kids? Because, bitch, I only want 2 kids. What the fuck I look like to you? Sorry. That pissed me off. Not everybody's out here to be, like, not everybody's a baby factory. Remember, you're Nigerian. We get that. And in certain cultures and places, y'all be expecting women just be popping out babies. You do that. You wanted to do that. Americans, North Americans, we don't got to do that. Don't got to do it. So just because you have to do it and you have to get your body all, prepared and you have the aftermath, doesn't mean everybody else has to do it. So she asked her, why do you only want 2 kids? As if that's a bad thing. I loved Aisha's answer. She's like, well, in America, to raise children is very expensive. Okay? And we just want to be able to have as many kids as as God gives us or whatever. Well, she didn't say that yet. And the mom, the dad, they're like, oh, that's unacceptable. 2 kids is not acceptable. We're thinking more like 4 kids. It's not your body. Did you have your kids, mom? You had your kids? Okay, good for you. Sister, did you have kids? Where's your husband? I see you holding a baby. Is that your child? Is that your 4th? Okay, good for you. Nobody has to follow in your guys' footsteps. Stop forcing having all these kids on people. Maxwell's father was like, oh, we want 4. We were expecting an answer of 4. Am I your wife? Am I laying down with you? Am I having kids with you? No, you have your own kids, right? You shouldn't be expecting no kids from me. Don't expect kids from me. We're not together. What the hell? This shit is triggering me. Don't expect no kids from me. Loved Aisha's answer again. She's like, you know what? We'll have as many kids as God planned. Boom. Leave me alone. Be quiet. You guys are Christian, right? You guys believe in God, right? You guys like that, right? She gave you the answer you deserved, and a good one. We'll have as many kids the good Lord allows us to have. 2, so be it. The fuck? Anyways, they pissed me off. Maxwell's like, oh, he'll have to talk to her so she comes to her senses. No, you can't talk nobody. Listen, stop this. Are you carrying the baby? She said 2. You guys should be grateful with the 2 that she's willing to have. I don't get it. Here comes the talk. Oh, in Nigeria, we think that Americans, they're not submissive. And it's not like the same here in Nigeria. The women have to be submissive. Well, thank God for Aisha. She's not living in Nigeria, right? She's going back home to America. So keep your submissiveness over there and stop trying to spread that on everybody. You want to be submissive. You want to listen to everything some man has to say. You want to follow all these rules and directions. Do it. But don't expect everybody else to do it. Thank you. Stop. Well, in Nigeria. Okay, cool, great. Maxwell's trying to get to America. So in America, I'm going to do what I want to do, which is be me and give orders. Aisha's going to have him doing those damn dishes and cooking food, okay? Like, sit down. Just like, listen, Maxwell might not like everything I say or tell him to do, but he does it because he knows that I respect him and I love him and I show him loyalty. And at the end of the day, it'll work out. And then he realizes why I told him or asked him to do it. Maxwell, he goes ahead and he shows the family the pictures of the chemical peel that Aisha got him. He's saying that Aisha wants to change everything about him, like everything from his hair, his skin, whatever, all down to his eyeballs. The family's shocked. The sister's like, what? His eyeballs? Aisha's trying to explain. She's like, well, I guess she doesn't like the yellowing on his eyes and on his eye whites. And she's like, well, because of the sun damage, it causes a layer to go over the whites of the eyes, and it's like protection because there's so much sun damage, so it's yellow. A yellow layer forms, and it's protecting from the sun. And the sister's like, yeah, in Nigeria, most of us have that like that because we're in the sun and it's very sunny. So this is what happens. Aisha doesn't like it. She's like, nah, well, I don't like it, so this is what we're doing. The sister's kind of like, what does this damn dummy not get? Like, this is what it is over here. Most of us have it like that because we are exposed to a lot of sun. Anyways, that's what happened. The sister doesn't like that Aisha is doing all these changes to Maxwell. Guess what? Maxwell, he's accepting the changes. He could have said no, but he's doing all of them. So you cannot like it all you want. Maxwell, he's going through with them. So, oh my gosh, finally Josh and Catie. I cannot. Josh and Catie. They're organizing the house, getting things together, and Josh is like, how's everything? Like, it seems like everything's going good or whatever. Katie's talking about, oh, I don't like living with people. What's wrong with this girl? She's like, I don't like living with people. It's weird, and like, the whole process of setting up an apartment, it's just like really annoying to her, and it kind of like sets her off, and she doesn't like it. Josh is like, okay, like, you want me to hop on a plane and go back home to England or wherever? She's like, yeah. What did I say? She's telling the truth. Go home. She seems very annoyed with him because she hasn't done shit for this man. She's just been being mean to him the whole time. Listen to the cues. She just told you, go home. Kind of like, convince her like, hey man, it's going to be a short period of time for us to get settled in and get everything organized. And after that, things will be fine. Things will be great. And it'll be like a nice place for us to stay in. Josh agrees, like, things were getting a little bit out of hand, but he's like, he thinks that things have gotten better as opposed to the last few days. Katie's like, oh, well, I think things have gotten worse. I can't stand Catie. I just feel like she's a nasty person. She wants to do what she wants to do. She acts like she don't be understanding stuff, and because, like, she has OCD or something like that. I think she said that, or she's on the spectrum. She thinks she can use that as an excuse just to be nasty and disrespectful. She clearly understands everything, but she only wants to hear what she wants to hear. Okay? So Katie's just, that's what she is. Josh confirms, hey man, listen, I know everything's been stressful with the move and moving and me and like, getting everything in place and everything like that. But he's like, hey, I like uprooted my whole life. I moved, from UK down here, left my family, friends, job, and everything. He's like, like, please, like, don't be dismissive of like what I had to go through as well. Katie's like, well, when I went to Europe for a year, it wasn't a big deal for me, and I didn't have any problems. So like, I can't really empathize with you on your move here. Catie, what? Josh is like, you were on vacation. Like, he's like, it's not the same thing. He's like, you were on vacation, you had a suitcase, and you were just traveling Europe. He's like, I'm here. This is my life. Like, there's a big difference. She don't want to hear it. Again, she's just checked out. She doesn't care what he has to say. She's just nasty. Katie's saying that he reads into things too much. Josh is like, yeah, you should be reading into things so you can get a full understanding, right? He's also like, yeah, and you should do the same. Like, you should read into things as well. He's just explaining, like, in the UK, this is how we do things. It's like, he's like, I thought it was a normal thing. Maybe it's a UK thing. She's like, well, we're in America. Girl, I don't even know what he sees in her. I don't. And Josh, you're not like, he's just getting ran over by this weirdo. Catie is having a birthday party and she is worried about telling Josh that she invited Ryan. Ryan is the guy that she was traveling around Europe with, and she was like, "Oh, those were my chaotic days." She's saying that she kissed him a few times or they hooked up. I'm sure they were traveling Europe. Anyways, Josh does not like him because he knows Ryan. I guess they were all in Europe for this event or for some running club or whatever. And I don't know if him and Catie were dating then, but Josh does not like Ryan because he's like, oh, well, Ryan knows what we've been through and he still, I guess, kissed Catie. I have no clue. But Catie tells Josh that she invited Ryan, and Josh is like, what? Like, why would you invite him? She's like, I wasn't really thinking about it. There you go. She doesn't care about Josh. She doesn't think about his feelings. She doesn't care. She invited that man because she wanted him there, bottom line. So she can do her kissing and her groping and all that stuff in front of Josh. All for Josh to take her back. That's what she wanted to do. She tells him that she invited him and like she wasn't thinking about it when she invited him, but now she feels really bad because she realizes that like, there's going to be tension with him, like Josh and Ryan being there. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. Okay? Josh is just sick of the BS and he's sick of her. He's sick of the BS because he's like, oh my gosh, more drama. Katie's like, well, how can I make sure that you're comfortable at the party? Josh is like, listen, you should know, like you're grown. You should know what is good behavior and what's bad behavior. He's like, you shouldn't be going around kissing everybody, getting drunk, going around doing all this stuff, just acting like a floozy. He's like, you know what's good and what's bad, so just don't do it. Like, don't be drinking and getting drunk and just acting slack. Yeah, he's just, he doesn't need her drunk. He doesn't want her drunk and just hooking up with everybody like she normally does. Josh wants an explanation from Ryan about like why this and that happened, and he wants Catie to be firm on letting him know that she is now in a relationship with him. He's like, oh well, I want to be a good partner, and I want to do better, but I just want to party, and I just love being excited and having thrills. This girl is not ready for a relationship. Let her get all that stuff out her system. I don't know why Josh wants to start a family with her. Why would you want somebody like that raising kids? You want somebody like that around kids and raising your kids? No, 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 absolutely not. No, she's an embarrassment. That's who you want to have kids with? An embarrassment? Oh my gosh. Josh, get some self-esteem. Get some confidence, because this is not it. Josh says that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with anybody who thinks that they could just do anything. That's what he's saying. And I get it, and I agree. Like, you shouldn't be in a relationship with that. He thinks that Catie just thinks that she could do anything and act like, she's not in a relationship. And that's exactly what she's doing. They're on the way to the bar, and Catie tells Josh how her and Ryan ended up connecting and talking. Like, how did she end up inviting him to the party? And Katie's like, well, he was in town for work and they sent messages. And she's like, oh, well, I'm having a birthday party. Like, just come over. She ended up inviting him. And then, like, at that moment, she kind of realized that she shouldn't have. And that's how. Girl, bye. Y'all have been texting the whole time. Been communicating the whole time, and you invited him on purpose. He probably came in town for your birthday. Okay? Stop playing. Josh is like, well, how would you feel if I was doing what you were doing? Like, I was going around getting drunk, just hooking up with random girls, doing all this stuff. She's like, oh, she'd feel jealous and, like, she'd feel bad about it. Okay, so then stop doing it. But she's not going to. Then Catie and her stupid self wanting to put her hands on everybody and her mouth on everybody. She's like, we should come up with a contest, and whoever kisses the most people by the end of the night wins. What? What kind of stupidness is that? What kind of nastiness is that? Good way to catch mono or herpes or some crap. Like, what's wrong with this girl? Again, like I say, Josh, this is what she's bringing to you. She's telling you what she's about. She's telling you what she's going to be doing. And you still sitting there like a big-headed fool. Bozo the clown sitting there acting like you don't know what's up. So whatever happens, happens. You're accountable for some of it too, because you're clearly acting like you don't know what the hell's going on. Now they're in the bar. Some of her friends start rolling in. They start talking. They start introducing, like, just catching up and things like that. They're having drinks. Katie's getting a little bit nervous because, Ryan is going to show up soon because, she didn't invite him, and Josh and Ryan are going to be in the same room. Katie, she's mixing, she's mingling, she's around a group of guys just talking. He's over wherever talking to some other people, and then Ryan finally comes in. Ryan comes in. Ryan and Katie, they're talking. Josh, he does want to confront Ryan about what happened in the kiss or whatever, but he also doesn't want there to be drama. So Katie, she takes upon herself and she brings Ryan and Josh outside so they can have a talk. So first thing Josh says when they're outside, Josh is like, "What are you doing here? Like, why are you here?" Duh, your woman invited him. Don't ask no stupid questions. He's not going to turn down an invite from Katie just so he doesn't hurt you. Like, he's smashing Katie, okay? He's smashing Katie. So he's like, well, I came for the birthday celebration and, just want to have fun and have a good time or whatever. Josh is like, okay. Ryan goes on to say that, oh, well, me and Katie, we've been talking, we've been communicating, and Katie's told me, like, what she really wants out of life or whatever. Didn't I just say that this girl's been talking to this man? Ryan's like, listen, there's a reason why this keeps happening. Like, a reason why Katie's acting the way she does, a reason why that we are still in each other's lives. This is what I'm thinking he's saying, right? Anyways, he's saying there's obviously a reason why this keeps happening. He turns to Katie's like, we were talking about life and where you want to be in life and where you want to go in life, right? And he's like, right? So, like, do you want to explain that? Like, you want to explain what we're talking about and what you were saying about where you want to be in life and how you want your life to turn out, Katie, she just standing there looking. First of all, it looked like you're standing there wobbly drinking. I don't even know how many drinks you had. And it seems like you guys haven't even been there for long. So she's already just getting shit-faced. Okay, she's standing there like this, and she has a drink, and I'm like, this is who you guys want? She's trash. She's trash, and she has no concern or feelings or, she's selfish, and she's disrespectful. She doesn't care. So Ryan's like, yeah, do you want to explain what we were talking about and, like, what you were saying about where you want to go in life and, like, where you're headed and, like, how you want things to turn out? Goofy Josh is standing there like, oh, he's like, we're getting married, right? We're going to get married, right? Katie's just looking at him like, not saying nothing. Guys, that's it. That's how the episode ends, okay? Are we good? Like, this episode was crazy. I just cannot with these people. But please leave your thoughts. Leave your comments, your thoughts, what you think in the comments, okay? Let's get the conversation going, okay? What did you guys think about this episode? What do you think about this review? And yeah, let me know what's up in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you guys in another one. Bye.